Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. In this video, Celine and I are going to be tasting some bad tea. Bad tea. But is it bad like...
I'm like, is this going to be a game? What do you mean?
Kind of is a game. Is this going to be bad like it's bad tea, or is it bad like it's bad tea?
Bad tea. I really hope it's that one, because, you know...
Well, let's put it this way. I have purchased this tea, so... I'm hoping that you think it's bad. Yeah, not bad.
You shouldn't have said that. You should have just let me taste them again. And then if I'd gone, oh no, then you'd be like... Oh.
Well, you never know. You might react in a strange way to this tea because it is a bit of a bizarre tea. And I don't think I even want to scope it with you. I just want to dive into tasting so that you sort of have the experience that I had when I first tasted this sample, and then we can talk about the history around this tea a little bit. First of all, which type of tea do you think it is?
Okay, this is fun. Initial reaction, it looks like a black tea, but it's quite big leaves, so maybe an aged pu'er, like really aged.
Aged or fermented?
I don't know. It's quite dark, but fermented there's so much more like dark brown. It's quite dark brown. Yeah, okay. More of a ripe.
So you're going for either a black tea.
I'm going to go for the black tea.
You're going with the black tea. Okay, so let's just dive straight into tasting, and then once we've sort of gotten your initial reaction to this tea, then I will reveal to everyone what this tea is, because it is a bit of an oddski tea. For me, anyway.
Is it tea that you bought?
I bought it. It's in the warehouse.
No pressure then.
Well, look, if you don't like it, then what can I do? It'll be part of our private collection.
Oh, no.
Great, private collection of teas that you don't like. I'm hoping it won't come to that. Okay, so here you go. Sniff those dry leaves and see what you think. But have an open mind.
Okay.
Open mind. Very important.
Open mind.
Open mind. Oh, I've got a peek.
I'm going to imagine you didn't buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine it was just a sample.
What the heck, man? This got some funk.
It certainly has the funk.
It's weird. It's got like a black licorice smell to it.
Okay.
But a lot of sweet, like cooked fruit notes mixed in there.
Which fruit?
Prunes.
Okay, prunes.
But it's that kind of herbaceous. Yeah, black licorice note, which is funky. It's almost more alcoholic than like... This is a funky tea, isn't it?
It's funky tea. When you say alcoholic, what do you mean?
It's got a little bit of it's just got like molasses.
Yeah, so it's got a sweet note
alcohol.
to it. Alcohol. What kind of alcohol?
Okay, let me just... Sorry, it's hard.
It's not often that you get alcohol as a tasting note.
I'm gonna go with gin.
Yeah, so very herbal, bright,
like,
spiky.
Yeah, but like mixed with those like you know the
juniper.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That
gin.
Herbal. Yeah.
So very herbal alcohols. Also slightly Chinese herbal.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm getting like licoricey notes.
Yeah, like licorice. Some woody herbs are going on in there.
Actually,
I'm also picking up a lot of the fruit that I'm getting is more lemon zesty. Like I want to say like sherbet. You know, lemony sherbet.
Now, like the smell of the black licorice is dissipated and it's more sherbety.
It's very bright, isn't it? It's super, super bright. Okay.
That's so funky. See, now it smells more like a black tea, but initially it smelled like maybe an aged oolong.
An aged oolong, yeah.
You know?
Sometimes they can have that slightly alcoholic note to them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my god.
But you're still going with black tea as your...
I'm still going with black tea.
Okay.
Some funky aged black tea.
An aged black tea you're thinking of. Interesting. Okay. Smell that.
Have we ever had an aged black tea?
Well, we've had black teas that have naturally aged, but we've never purchased specifically an aged black tea.
Yeah, no, it's always been oolong.
Black teas is a common misconception that black teas A lot of people think that black tea should be drunk fresh. In fact, a black tea is often improved slightly with age.
Whoa! I've never smelled anything like that in my
It's
life.
nuts. It is a nuts tea.
Oh my god, that's so crazy.
So what are you smelling?
Okay, weirdly preserved lemons.
Preserved lemons. Yeah.
But there's a big
Oh, yeah.
coating of like being in an attic.
So it's got an attic.
But
Yeah,
lemony.
preserved lemons. It's still got some of that malty black tea sweetness to it, right?
Yeah.
It's still, you can still pick up a black tea character to it in terms
Yeah.
of the malty
Sorry.
warmth and sweetness.
Yeah.
I'm still picking
Wow.
up quite a lot of alcoholic sort of
Yeah.
note to it, like a spice that comes from it.
Like whiskey now. I'm
Oh,
getting
whiskey?
I just shook it and it just went.
Yeah,
You know, because whiskey does have a bit of a lemony tone to it.
yeah, you can have a bit of that lemon rind or candied lemons.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
we'll do one infusion, drink it, then I'll tell you about the tea. Yeah?
I'm quite excited actually by the taste now. I was a bit worried at the beginning because I thought, oh, I don't know, like it sounded like I don't know what you were going for.
Yeah.
And sometimes like me and Don disagree on taste because he can go for like really funky, like enjoying really funky
Yeah, I
notes.
tend
and
to be a bit more on the funky end of the spectrum.
yeah, and I'm like,
Too funky, too
Too
funky. Rein it back.
yeah.
That's why I wanted you to taste this one, because this is funky. This has got funk
Yeah,
to
but
it.
it reminds me a bit of like, I don't know if, well, you know Maduro has like
Yeah.
an alcoholic kind
Maduro
of
is
tone.
an aged poor tea,
Oh
by the
yeah,
way.
sorry. Should say that. One of my favourite teas, by the way. And yeah, that kind of it reminds me a bit of that, which is weird.
No, so you're picking up an aged taste.
Yeah.
So if you had to make a guess at tea type now, what would you guess?
Still from the smell, I'm like sticking to black, but
An aged black?
definitely an aged black. Definitely.
Okay, how
Like,
old would you say this black?
Super old.
Like how old?
And considering you bought it, I'm like, it must be super old. Like, I'm gonna say 80s.
You think this is a 1980s
Yeah.
black tea?
Yeah.
Right, see, I see where you're coming from. You're not right, but I can see where you're coming from. Let's
what?
check the colour of this.
I'm not right in terms of
I'll tell you scope soon. I'm just saying you're not 100% right, but you're pretty close.
I'm very intrigued now.
Okay. Well, we're going to taste it now. Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Colour of the liquor is a lovely sort of maple syrup, dark, deep maple syrup.
So,
Brown.
I'm not gonna give you leaves. I'm not gonna give you
Give some
leaves
to
in
Pig.
it. Piggy.
Pig gets the leaves. Okay, taste. So you taste it, think of texture and taste.
Wow. Oh. Ooh, this is cozy. This is I love the happy reaction. It's like, thank goodness.
I'm not seeing
Because sometimes
negative.
I'm like,
You've gone too far, Don. You've gone too far.
you know what? It still has an alcoholic note to it.
Alcohol, no. Okay, let's talk about texture.
It's very thick.
Thick. Here's the leaves. Lovely colour leaves. Very sort of rosy, sort of auburn.
Would you say mahogany?
Yeah, but redder than that. It's got more of a red tinge to
Yeah.
it. Okay, so texture, thick,
Very smooth.
very, very smooth.
Like, but thick at the same time. So smooth.
Soft.
Yeah, soft. Yeah, soft and yeah, to me it's thick.
Okay, taste. You still getting the alcohol?
It's still there, but I get like raisins, like soaked raisins.
Well, it's soaked in alcohol, like brandy or something.
Soaked raisins, but then yeah, there's still a herbaceousness, but it's not licorice.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed It's like the zest of the lemon changed it up. It's more of a tangerine, like an aged tangerine.
So Chenpi.
Yeah, exactly.
So aged medicinal
yeah.
citrus fruits, tangerines. Yeah. Peel, the peel though, right?
The peel,
Yeah.
But not the bitterness of a peel, right? It's really
just
like
the
none
zestiness,
of that. Yeah, just the terps.
It's got quite sweet, it leaves the mouth quite sweet. Not like overflowing with juiciness, but sweet, zesty and sweet, like it's like prunes.
Yes.
Prune sweetness.
But yeah, like raisins. Maybe it's a mixture of different like dried fruits.
Yeah.
Soaked in alcohol.
So like prunes and raisins, and you've got the zest of tangerine. So it's sort of like a mold. It's like a Christmas pudding style thing where it's like.
Yes, because then it like brings it all together.
You got all that sort of candied fruits and dried fruits soaked in brandy. Yeah. Oh, but it's got that sweetness that comes from a sort of maltiness as well. Yeah. I think.
That could be really good with Christmas time.
Maybe this is our Christmas tea.
Maybe that's what you've been thinking all along.
No, but I'll pretend I was. Colour of the liquor, beautiful, bright. Look how bright that colour is.
Yeah, again, it looks like... You know what? If that's not an aged black, then it has to be like an aged puer, no? Right.
So I would agree with you that if you were to, just by the taste and by the look, but more by the taste, you would be either putting it in aged black or aged raw puer, right? But the smell of the dry leaf for me has got quite a HR, fermented, ripened tea note as well.
That's so true.
So it's sort of, it's in all of that aged goodness category. Let's serve up, and I'm going to scope the tea and tell you a little bit about it.
Cool.
So you're still going for black tea though, right?
But so it's aged though.
What are you guessing? An aged black tea is what you guessed before. Are you sticking with that?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, so let's scope this tea. Let me tell you about this tea. This tea actually comes from Taiwan.
Taiwan?
No, hold on. But it is sourced in Yunnan. So this is a Yunnan, this is a Dianhong. Okay, so this is a Dianhong.
Okay.
So one of our friends in Taiwan sent me a sample of this tea. Funky. And I just went, what the bleep is this? This is crazy ass tea.
Like, what?
I want to get some in. I want to get some of this in for myself and for clients. And I was informed, so basically the reason why this sort of breaks all the rules is because I don't really have, because I'm dealing with sort of third degree, of separation from pharma, I'm a little bit like unsure about it, but this is what I've been told, that this is from Yunnan. The guy does not know which part of Yunnan. Apparently he said it's part of near the border. I said, which border? He's like, oh, I'm not quite sure. So basically, we don't know. Somewhere around the borders of Yunnan, right? He's saying that it's, so season on this, get ready, 2018.
No. He must be wrong.
I know, that's exactly why. It's like, there's no way that this is this tastes like something from the 90s or the 80s.
100%.
Right? This does not taste.
The more I was tasting it, once you were talking about it, the more I was like, nah. Yeah, it has such an alcoholic
it's got such an aged, alcoholic, fermented taste to it that it has to be something that's at least 10 years old, right? But he's like, no, this is 2018, spring 2018. Cultivar Dianhong, I'm assuming, because it's from from Yunnan. He said it's from gushu trees. So he said, according to him, according to his source, this is from 200-year-old tea trees. Again, I can't confirm any of this, right? So I don't know, but
it does have a lot of sweetness, though.
It does have potency to it for sure. In the aftertaste and the finish, very sweet, pruny finish to it. So he's saying this is spring 2018 from the puer tea trees, 200-year-old. So Dianhong for sure, 200-year-old. Who knows? The origin on this is Yunnan, from a border region somewhere. I was like, which border? Myanmar or Laos? Which border? He's like, don't know. Picking and processing, it was clearly processed as a black tea.
Right. Okay, so I was right on this end.
It is a black tea. It's a Gushu Dianhong. That's what we know. Well, that's what we are being told. We can't confirm the Gushu status on it, but we're being told this is a Gushu Dianhong, so a Gushu Yunnan black tea.
Okay.
Elevation we don't know, obviously, because we don't know exactly which mountain region. So it's going to be a few unknowns, and it breaks all the rules for us because we don't source in this way. But I fell so much in love with this tea because of the character of it. I had this quite big sample. It was quite generous. Whenever I was choosing what tea to drink, I was like, oh, I'm going to have that. I'm going to have that.
I never had it.
Yeah, this was the studio tea. This was my studio tea.
Just kept it all here. Hidden away.
Hey, there's been plenty of teas that you've been sipping on that you've been enjoying, right?
That's true.
So I then dug a bit deep and I was like, there must be some other information that you can give me about this tea. Why does it taste like a 10 or 15-year-old tea? And he said, and this is the only thing that I can think of is why it tastes so different from any other Dianhong I've ever tasted, is he said it was after processing, because it was being sent to Taiwan. They're very particular about making teas vacuum sealed in Taiwan. If you think about full rolled oolongs, often comes vacuum sealed. Everything comes vacuum sealed. He said it's been stored for 2 years, vacuum sealed.
Okay.
Well, as he said, vacuum sealed as much as possible to avoid breaking the leaves too much.
Right.
Which they are still fairly broken.
Yeah.
Right. But vacuum sealed. And my only thinking is, and I have no way of verifying it, is that this was packed whilst it maybe still had some residual moisture level in it. That meant that in the 2 years that it's been aging in a vacuum, essentially, with a little bit of moisture, that it has actually fermented the tea slightly. And it has a very, very strong particular fermented note to it.
Oh my God.
Right? So essentially this is, in my guess, this is a slightly fermented Gushu Dianhong, which is why I've called it bizarrely aged Dianhong. It's bad. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's bizarrely aged Dianhong.
Oh my God.
But I love it. I love it. I love
Can I just say, this
craziness of it.
Such an interesting experiment, because if that is the
for
case,
sure,
then you could make some crazy good black teas.
So next time we source next spring, we're going to say, okay, don't dry it perfectly.
And make sure you vacuum seal
and then
it.
put it in a bag and vacuum seal it and send it to us. It's sort of like, what is going on here? This is crazy.
That's so cool. But
we don't know. This
know.
is all guesswork. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it is Gushu. It is definitely a Dianhong. It's definitely a Yunnan black tea. I mean, you can taste that. You can taste that it's a Yunnan black tea.
Do you think if I spritz some water on my black tea,
we're gonna start a whole wave of people destroying their tea collection by molding their tea collection? Listen, it's only a guess. That's what's happened here.
I'll try it. I'll try it for everyone.
Because that's the only thing that could have happened, right? I mean, when you think about it, how could it taste? How could it have this distinct alcoholic note to it?
Yeah, because you can't add stuff to it to make it taste like that.
And it tastes so good. It tastes so aged. It really has such a distinct, decades of aging taste to it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Thank you.
Oh, incredible.
I do feel like I'm drinking some kind of alcoholic beverage. Like a mold,
It's got a little spice, that spice that comes with a slight alcoholic tinge to it. Little, tiny prickliness a little bit,
Yeah. And you know what? There's also like a heat of ginger to it.
Yeah, exactly. That spicy, gingery.
Yeah.
It definitely has that Christmas pudding. And yes, it was planned all along. This is a Christmas tea.
I mean, it's perfect.
But it is it's got that mulled fruits, dried fruits, candied zests of lemon, of tangerines and oranges, ginger spice.
It's mad, but it is quite complex. I can see why you kept going for it, because now I'm getting a bit of eucalyptus and a bit of clove and
Because it's from the Assamica variety of black tea, right? So you're getting some of those ruby notes happening in there as well.
Yeah.
And then the smell of this
Like
empty gongdabe is so like sweet raisins and
oh my god, I was gonna go for cotton candy, but yeah, you're right, it's more raisiny. But
And-
it's, you know
and-
what I mean? It's like very sweet smelling.
very, very sweet. But I also get chocolate, like chocolate covered raisins. You know?
Oh, I love those. I haven't had those in so long.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's chocolate covered raisins and a tiny whisper of a sort of fireplace, like
Being by the
not,
fire.
Yeah, not smoky.
No.
But like yeah.
Like a turned off fire?
Yeah.
But like it's like been turned off.
Yeah, like a slightly put
Like-
the next morning.
Next morning. That's more specific. Yeah.
Or if you cut wood and you're getting that slight char on the wood because of a hot saw going through it. But predominance of dark chocolate, no, not dark, milk chocolate raisins.
Not dark.
Milk
for sure.
chocolate raisins.
Oh, that's so cozy.
It's a cozy maker.
Is there a heating maker as well? Because I'm feeling quite warm.
Well, I know the body sensation on this, which is another reason why I kept on going back to it. It is definitely warming, and it definitely gets you a little bit like excitable and a little bit, you know. And it's not caffeine. It's definitely not the
I love
caffeine.
teas that have a little bit of
Yeah, it's definitely got a little frisson.
a little frisson. How many infusions did you get from this tea?
I just kept on drinking. We'll have to count how many infusions we're going to get out of it. This is infusion number 4, but definitely you'll get 8, 9. Can I pour it?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Smell. It's changed. The smell in the cup
Oh yeah,
changed
what did
again.
it change to?
I was trying to work it out, but then you needed it.
It happens.
It happens. I'm a little bit slow coming up with tasty notes.
Okay, so yeah, you guessed right that this is a black tea, and yeah,
Let me
I
just-
think that you guessed right because it has an aged taste for sure.
Put you out of your misery. I love it.
I guessed you would.
Yeah, you can always tell.
I didn't think this was. Oh, the smell of that is great. You really pick
Yeah.
me up. It's so great because the characters is this. Oh, it's black tea. It's definitely black tea, and then
Yeah,
whoa!
and then it's
But
like-
what happened to the black tea?
Yeah.
Something happened to
Right.
it.
Definitely aged black tea.
Aged. It tastes aged.
It's like a young person that has the soul of an older person. You know, it's just got a
Yeah.
lot of character.
Yeah. But it definitely tastes like it's a character that would either take decades of aging or doing something a bit radical to it.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that they did something radical to it without intending.
If it's 2018,
It's 2000. I,
has
sw-
to
I,
be.
I kept on saying to him, like, you've given me a different sample. Check your collection. There must be another. He was like, no, I
your-
know which. There's only
taste your
one black
tea.
tea from Yunnan which I purchased, and this is it, and it's from Yunnan.
Oh,
and they were like,
okay.
and he was like saying, you know, I shouldn't laugh, but he was saying, oh yeah, but it's because it's from Gushu that it tastes that way. I was like, listen, man. I know you know your Taiwanese oolongs. You really know your Taiwanese oolongs, but trust me, I've tasted Gushu black teas that are 2 years old, 3 years old. They do not taste like this.
Yeah,
They
no.
don't. They just
No.
don't taste like that.
No. No.
I don't know. It's bad, man.
It's a bad man.
It's bizarrely aged Dianhong that we know very little about, but we know that we love it.
What are you calling it?
Bad.
I was kind of worried about that because you kept saying bad. Sorry, you kept saying. But
Should we not call it bad?
okay, a sick part of me is like, I love it.
It's
Because-
B.A.D. It's bizarrely aged Dianhong.
Okay. It's
If you want, I
delicious,
can
though.
put in brackets bizarrely aged Dianhong. But those in the know will know it's bad.
Okay, fine. Those in the know.
Yeah, it's bad.
Fine, those in the know. Because it's really good. Like, you can't, you know.
Yeah, but maybe this is we don't have that much of it, so like
Hang on a second. I just thought dog shit.
exactly.
Who would want to buy dog shit tea? A lot.
A lot of people would.
Including myself. Yes, it's.
I keep having that sample in my head, that hip hop sample. Bad meaning bad, not bad meaning good.
I don't know that one. You gotta sing the whole thing.
No, I don't know the whole thing. If I can find the sample, I'll put it in right now.
Big bad wolf in your neighborhood, not bad, meaning bad, but bad, meaning good.
most likely I did not find the sample. Okay, so there you go. Bizarrely aged Dianhong breaks all the rules in terms of us sourcing because we don't know that much about it.
Wow.
I think it breaks all the rules in how you should store your black tea.
Man, big time.
But who knows? Maybe this is now a trend for experimenting with crazy ass storage. I can imagine that the people in like Hong Kong or Malaysia would go nuts for this tea.
Oh yes.
You know, this sort of aged funk.
And just the fact that it has a bit of that aged tangerine thing, which actually is kind of dissolved a bit more. Now it's like a bit more on the caramel.
Yeah,
Coffee, caramel.
But I still get it as a finish. In my mouth, I still have this sort of quite cooling, zesty tangerine note to it.
True.
With the prune sweetness.
This is quite strong, isn't it?
Your cheeks are pretty red.
Oh man, how red? Is it Mayleaf Life red?
Actually, they're the reddest I think I've ever seen.
Really? Is it because I haven't been tea drunk in ages? Oh my god.
Or maybe this genuinely has a tiny percentage of alcohol.
Yeah, that's like they've infused it in there.
Let's get this straight. I don't think there's any alcohol in it, but it has it tastes like you know you've poured yourself a gin and you pour away the gin and you smell the empty glass. It's got a little bit of that vaporous note to it. So maybe there's a tiny percentage.
It's fermented to an alcoholic percentage.
But certainly
I think
nothing.
It does. It feels like it.
This is a particular brand of tea drunk. It's a tea and tiny little vaporous. I don't know. I have no idea. It's excitable. It's heating.
It's very excitable.
It's definitely one that you're going to remember.
I've never had a black tea that feels like it gives me energy.
Or not like this kind of energy.
No.
Although, I
like
have. You think about like Boulang Blacks and Wildwood Black. But it is different. It is different.
I don't know. This one feels different.
You are pretty red. And am I red?
Yeah, actually,
There you go, man. Anyway, look, a totally crazy tea. If someone's thinking about me, if you're interested in tasting a tea which is just off the charts nuts, then this is definitely one for you. This is a bizarrely aged Dianhong. It's bad. It's a bad tea.
It's bad.
Check it out if you're interested. That's it, tea heads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, this is Celine, red-cheeked Celine, and a red-cheeked Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the bad stuff and spread the word because nobody deserves bad tea.
Bad tea.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, they deserve this kind of bad tea.
Innit?
Not the other kind of bad tea.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bad tea. This was a bad ending.
Bad man.